J.D. Salinger's novel, The Catcher in the Rye, made him a literary sensation. But the author famously recoiled from fame.
He turned his back on celebrity before celebrity was celebrity.
Filmmaker Shane Salerno went looking for the man who created Holden Caulfield, the cynical teenager expelled from prep school, who became, as one critic put it, America's best-known literary truant since Huckleberry Finn.
The publication of Catcher in the Rye in 1951 was a revolution.
There had not been a voice like that.
When you're a kid and you read Catcher in the Rye, you're just like, oh my God, somebody gets it.
Salerno's new documentary, Salinger, tracks the author's success.
Catcher in the Rye sold 60 million copies. That's an unprecedented figure.
And Salinger's abrupt retreat from it. To a wooded compound in New Hampshire.
I've heard that he has a huge bunker
where for more than half a century, he declined interviews and shunned photographers.
There would be long stretches of time where he wouldn't come out of the bunker at all.
He sort of became the Howard Hughes of his day.
A 40-year-old screenwriter known for action films, Salerno became fascinated by the Salinger myth.
This is a photo that we uncovered of J.D. Salinger in 1968 on his bed in his bedroom. This is what it looked like when we got it originally. And this shows you the lengths at which we would have to go to bring things back to life sometimes.
He spent $2 million of his own money to make the film.
I was just hooked. I was compelled, and I began what was a 9-year detective story.
But Salinger was protected by a code of silence his friends refused to break.
I didn't want to talk about it because I knew he didn't want me to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Gene Miller's story is one of those Salerno uncovered. And you didn't talk about him for about 60 years.
I know.
Were you worried about it being a betrayal somehow?
Yes, I was. Certainly when he was alive.
But after Salinger died in 2010, at the age of 91, Miller agreed to talk. How did you meet exactly?
I was sitting at a pool and I was reading Wuthering Heights. And he said, how is Heathcliff? We were in Daytona Beach.
It was 1949 at the Daytona Beach Sheraton in Florida. Miller was 14. Salinger was 30. What did you do together?
We walked on the beach every afternoon.
What did your mother think of this?
Well, exactly.
For the next 5 years, during the time Salinger wrote and published The Catcher in the Rye, he met frequently with Miller and sent her dozens of letters.
He wanted you to go below the surface of your life. Jerry Salinger would say to me, a young girl, do you believe in God?
But no adult had ever talked to you like that before.
No adult had ever talked to me. Not only that, no adult had ever listened to me.
What do you think now that he was attracted to?
My innocence, my guilelessness.
Salinger never spoke about his service in World War II with Miller.
Each hour, this is the supreme moment of invasion.
But on D-Day, he'd landed at Utah Beach, later saw action during the Battle of the Bulge, and visited a Nazi death camp.
World War II is the ghost in the machine of all of J.D. Salinger's stories.
Salinger was hospitalized for battle fatigue. Salerno believes he never really recovered.
It's fascinating because World War II made him as an artist and broke him as a man.
The author's last published work appeared in The New Yorker in 1965.
I've heard that he has his manuscripts locked in a safe.
But the documentary and a companion book assert Salinger was in fact writing all those years since, and that he left major new works to be published beginning in 2015, including new material expanding on the story of The Catcher in the Rye's Holden Caulfield. After 5 years, Jean Miller's relationship with J.D. Salinger ended the day after she made love with him for the first time.
And I saw this glass curtain come down. And I just knew it was all over.
She would see him fleetingly only one more time.
He once said to me, if you ever lose track of me, just read my stories.
Now it appears the reclusive author has made sure we'll be keeping track of him for some time to come.